Hey, hey, hey! How to get customers beating a path to your door on autopilot without putting more on your plate. My weird secret that had us turning folks away at the door so the fire marshal wouldn't shut us down, and how to ethically knock it off in less than 10 minutes to fill your restaurant and bar every single night. Does that sound like something that you'd be interested in? Would that help your business? Want to make a quick earnings disclaimer as it gets started. You're not going to get 10,000 customers beating a path to your door the first day. Could you even handle it if you did? At first, I just wanted to get some new customers coming to us. I wanted to get customers on autopilot. That to me was the holy grail. If I could get customers coming to us and I didn't have to get on the phone or run a bunch of ads that never worked but cost me a ton of money, that's what I wanted. I wanted customers to just be coming to us. Yeah, I figured if I could just get 10 customers a day, that would be 300 new people coming to my restaurant every single month. And I knew I could keep at least some of those people coming back for more. Currently I have 17 businesses, each adding between 10 and 344 customers per day. Now they're not all restaurants, but they are all using this same exact strategy to add customers on autopilot. Thomas was one of our first businesses to test Customers Catcher for his restaurant. In just 7 months, our worst performing restaurant became the most profitable. What started as a test has been rolled out to all our locations and put our expansion plans on steroids. Thomas, I want to ask you as we get started that the things I'm going to show you today are really, really powerful, and they can do incredible things for your restaurant, but they can also be used to hurt other people's businesses. And I just want to get your word on it that you will use these things to supersize and make your place the best it can be, but that you won't use them to hurt or harm anybody else. It's karma. The last thing we want to do is spread bad juju out on the universe when we're trying to grow our businesses and create something. So who is this for? Well, if you have a restaurant or bar business, then this is definitely for you. If you don't have a restaurant or bar business yet, but you think that there's one in your future, then this is for you too. So you start off on the right foot and you do everything from the beginning that you can to automate and systematize your restaurant or bar to ensure your success. And the secret really is that if you have any type of business or if you want to have one, then this system will work for you. So what the heck is a customer catcher, and do I really need one for my company? Well, take a look at the picture of these two young ladies. The one on the left, the one on the right. They remind me of girls that I went to high school with. And although I hate to admit that I was probably more like the girl on the right, I suspect that the girl on the left got more of the type of attention in terms of interest by boys, dating, teachers, and other people responding to her than the girl on the right. The girl on the right tends to get a lot of attention, but it isn't necessarily the right type of attention. Just like she attracts the wrong type of attention sometimes, we attract, by trying to attract everyone into our business, sometimes we get the wrong customers. Have you ever had a customer that you hated serving? I'm raising both hands because I actually had to fire my best customer from my food business because they were so difficult that they made it really hard on all my employees and really hard on me, to the point that I had to let them go. And they were a huge part of my business. So the question is, do you want to make more money? Do you want folks lining up at your business ready to spend money? If the answer is yes to either of those questions, then you're in the right place. So my goal for this web class is simple and twofold. It's to show you that the only way for you to exponentially grow your restaurant or bar is through handling customers on autopilot. And that the only way to automate your customer handling is through a system we call Customers Catcher. Just for staying to the end, I've got a gift called the Blue Plate Special that I want to share with you. I'll share the link at the end just to encourage you to get what you can out of this and learn what you can. I also want to ask you to pay attention. Shut the door, put your phone in the other room. I actually put my phone in the other room because it inevitably goes off during a webinar or a Facebook Live or whatever I'm doing. Give multitasking a rest. You know, I know guys are pretty good about focusing, but we women, we tend to multitask on everything. I like to think I'm a great multitasker, but it just means I'm not focusing and concentrating and really giving my attention to something that I want to learn. So you owe it to yourself to pay attention to this. I promise I'll talk fast. So who the heck am I and why should you listen to me? My name is Horne-Ellstrom. I'm the key player in 7 different restaurant groups. Everything from a pizza place to a malt shop to a comedy club and counting. I've worked in various industries in the food chain, for suppliers, manufacturers. I've been a manufacturer. I've worked with manufacturers. I've done audits. I've been a service provider. I've been a coach to many different bars and restaurants. I've performed most jobs and tasks in a restaurant, including remodeling, cleaning the toilets, taking out the trash, everything managerial, operational, and ownership, financial, HR, you name it, I've probably done it. And there's a couple reasons for that. Number one, I don't believe I should ask anybody or expect anybody in any way, shape, or form that's on a team with me or works in one of my organizations to do anything that I'm not willing to do myself. If I'm not willing to clean puke up from the bathroom, then I sure as heck shouldn't expect that anybody else in my organization would be willing to do that. Now, I also pay people to do that now, but I have done it. And so I know how horrible a job it is. I also want to have an intimate understanding of how things work in my business and in my businesses. As an engineer and a quality manager, my whole career in corporate America and as a business owner has been about understanding processes and procedures and creating systems to ensure that we get the same great result every time. And so the only way to understand it is to actually be willing to dig in and understand and do the things that other people are doing for the tasks that you're trying to systematize or automate. So that's my two reasons for having performed just about every job in a restaurant and a bar and every other business I've been involved in. I remember I went to work for a really big industrial bakery, and what I did my first couple days there is I pretended that I was an order going through the bakery and how I would be processed in each department and each division. And that was a fun way to get to know everybody, but it also was a very quick education of how things work, how the different departments interacted with one another, how somebody places an order from a customer's standpoint to the point of what happens inside our organization to the delivery of that order to the customer. It was a really, really fun exercise. If you've never done that, I challenge you to do that for your business. Do that for your restaurant or bar. Be a customer. Go to your bar or restaurant and be a customer, or have somebody do it. But it's more powerful if you do it yourself and go through the entire process. It lets you see where the strengths are in your organization and where the improvement areas are. Super powerful exercise. I've made and saved companies, including my own, tens of millions of dollars and much, much more. So this is just some pictures of me and my family and some cool people that I love and care about, and my life now. But it wasn't always that way. And so I want to take a minute or two to share with you my background and why I'm so excited about this and why I'm fired up about this is partially because I got fired. I was working for this big industrial bakery I just mentioned, and they were sold to another organization. And part of that sale meant my position was going to be eliminated. And so I was laid off. And I'd been laid off and let go before, so I took it really well when I talked to my boss. But after I'd cleaned out my office and said goodbye to everybody and loaded up my car and was driving home, the floodgates opened and I just broke down and started crying, because not so much that I'd lost this job. I loved that job. It was an awesome job, but I'd known for a while that it was time for me to move on to something new. But because my husband had also just recently lost his job. He was working for a big personal care products company, and they went out of business. They actually went bankrupt. They had moved to another state and then they went bankrupt, and it was just a big long saga. But he had been out of work for a couple of months, and I only got a 2-week severance package. Now, don't get me wrong, I was super excited to get anything leaving the company, but I was scared and worried because I didn't know what we were going to do. I hadn't been looking for another job. Probably should have been. Sometimes the writing's on the wall but I also didn't really necessarily want to get another job. I'd been running businesses on the side for most of my career. I started my first business when I was 13. So I'd always kind of done this dual path where I was working in corporate America for security as I'm looking at my 4th time being let go from my secure position in corporate America. And I was worried, and I knew I had to make a decision. So I started to get myself to stop crying. I said, okay, well, what do I want? What do I really want? well, I want to make money and make sure the bills are paid and my kids are taken care of because I love my kids and I want to make sure they're able to eat and participate in the activities that they love to participate in. And so I cut my pity party pretty short. And this has taken me decades to do because sometimes, just like everybody else, I love a good pity party. I love to feel sorry for myself and say, ain't it awful? But I've learned that it's better if I get over that faster rather than slower. So as I'm driving in the car, I remembered something that my dad had always taught my sisters and I when we were growing up. And that was just, and I renamed this the PSDM system when I was in corporate America because I taught it to all my teams, all of my employees, all my co-workers and peers so that we would all be on the same footing when it came to our ability to quickly make decisions or to analyze and make decisions. And it sounds fancy, but really all it is you take a piece of paper, you draw a line down the middle, or you can fold it in half, and you put a plus on one side, a minus on the other. For extra credit, you can write what the decision or the problem is that you're thinking about on the top. But then, as you're looking at the decision, you write all the reasons for it, all the reasons against it. So my decision was I going to job hunt and go back into the workforce and start my 5th or 6th career? I'd sort of lost count at this point. Fight traffic every day because I actually went to work at 3 o'clock in the morning so that I would only have traffic one way coming home. My kids were pretty small, so I had to be home when they got off the school bus or they got into some shenanigans. My son liked to pat up his sister and have her hide behind trees and practice his paintball skills on her. So that kind of shenanigans. So I needed to make sure that I was home. So in order to make sure I was home and hit all 3 shifts, because I had people working on, around the clock that reported to me, I would go into work at 3 o'clock in the morning so that I didn't have traffic in the morning. So did I want to get into another position where I was probably not going to be able to have that much flexibility in my hours, not necessarily have all the benefits that I'd negotiated for myself thus far in my career? And did I really want to keep making money for somebody else? Well, that was getting a big resounding no from me. Or did I want to take the leap of faith and jump in with both feet and actually build the businesses that I had on the side and what I was working on and make that my real full-time income? I decided that I was going to go home and tell my husband that I wanted to focus on my side businesses. And he was pretty supportive of that. He was worried too because with our jobs and with my job, we were doing okay, but we were just over broke because we had just built a new house. The kids were in school and activities and sports and everything else. The husband had lost his job, and it wasn't long, like 2 weeks, when we went from just over broke to just under broke. We were sinking fast, and we either needed to come up with something or rob a bank or something. Neither of us were qualified to rob a bank, so that really wasn't an option. And neither of us wanted to go to jail. So we had to come up with something else. And all I could come up with was asking my parents for money. Now, I'm 40-some years old, and I had to ask my parents for money. That was way worse than getting let go from my job. That was one of the hardest things I've ever had to do because I felt like an absolute failure. I felt like I couldn't even take care of my family, and so I had to go ask my parents for money. Now, I am so fortunate and so blessed that my parents were in a position that they could lend me the money and they could help us out until we got on our feet and we got things going. Most people don't have that. A lot of people don't have that luxury, and it is a luxury, and I am so grateful and so appreciate that. But it was still one of the hardest things I ever had to do was get a loan from my parents. And that was a driving force for making sure that my businesses worked because I wanted to pay them back faster and more than anything. I wanted to pay them back, more than anything. That was really a motivator for me. And I was chugging away. I had actually started working in the Italian food business with my sister. My sister and I had started it, years, probably 15 years before this. And I'd been working in corporate America to supplement because the business was small and we were just making a little, selling a little, which is a terrible business philosophy, by the way. Do not ever adopt that. But that was our initial starting philosophy, and we didn't change it until the next steps happened. But so we were it didn't really bring in enough money with that philosophy to support both of our families, which was the reason that I had always worked in corporate America. And I was stressing over all this. We were chugging away. I was trying to grow the business and trying different things. And we were doing so many old school traditional things, advertising in the newspaper, doing product demos. We did usually 2 or 3 demos in our different grocery store businesses. We were manufacturing a handmade Italian food product every single weekend. And so we had people that we were hiring to do that. I was doing some of them. My sister had stopped doing them because she was tired of them. But all in all, we were struggling and really, really sinking fast. And then I woke up one night. I mean, I wasn't sleeping nights. I was freaked out all the time. I wasn't the nicest wife or mom necessarily because I was so stressed out and worried about a lot of this stuff. And maybe you can relate to that. But I woke up and I remembered a conversation and chats that I'd had with my dad. He was super entrepreneurial, which is probably why I was doing the corporate and businesses on the side as my career of choice or my occupations of choice. And one thing that he got us all involved in when we were pretty young was the fireworks business. And every year, no matter what we were doing in our jobs and our lives, we all came together as a family and we sold fireworks. And inevitably, once or twice during the season, my dad would be sitting in this old office chair in the back, usually with a beer in his hand or his beer and his coffee to go jar. And he would call one of us over and he'd say, Sherry, check this out. It's a feeding frenzy. And it hit me like a ton of bricks. I couldn't believe I hadn't thought of it sooner. But when I remembered that, I knew exactly what I needed to do. I needed to create a feeding frenzy for our business, for the Italian food manufacturing business. I began looking at all the ways that I could attract customers to my business. Some things really worked well. Other things were a complete and total waste of time. But I discovered that the secret to having a profitable, successful, growing, thriving, supersizing business is to get customers coming to me. Instead of me chasing them, I needed them coming to me. So my secret plan was to put this into place and then create it for all of my different businesses. And that's what I did. Now, the problem was it took at least 10 people, $35,000 or so, and 8 to 16 weeks to create what I termed and what we called internally our customer catcher, because we were all about catching customers and bringing them to us. But what's possible now is I recently had my best day ever, a $797,000 day. I will say that's my best day so far because I am looking to have $1 million day. Hopefully this year, that's my goal, is to have $1 million day. But here is just some pictures of what my lifestyle is like now. I can actually go get my nails and hair done. I can drive what I want to drive. I can go to the cabin when I want to go to the cabin. I've got my house. I've got my kids that are able to do the things they like to do. My son loves to travel. My daughter's a photographer. It's just amazing. I've been able to create the life that I want because I figured out and cracked the code on how to get customers coming to me and my business. And the best part is I was able to take care of and watch my beautiful baby granddaughter for the first year of her life while I was running my Italian food manufacturing business and other businesses and creating this system. How many people get to say that they could do that? Not very many. So after 40 years of struggling and stressing and trying to figure it out the hard way, if you've been struggling, if you're continuing to struggle to get customers to come to you and to supersize your business and create whatever it is you want with your restaurant or bar, then this is probably why. Because it's hard. It's hard. Advertising, designing the ads, R&D, hiring media buyers, writing copy, trusting that people are telling you what you really need to do to run your business, trying to figure out analytics. It's overwhelming. No matter how small a business, a restaurant or bar you have, no matter how small your cafe, you still have to do all these things. You still have to wear all of the hats in your business until you can get people to help you wear them or until you can afford to pay people to wear the hats for you. Here's some of the things we used to do. We used to do cold calling. I used to do cold calling for my business. We used to do store demos. I said store demos. I did a store demo every weekend for a year, and then I abandoned that strategy for several strategic reasons. Did we take a dip in sales? Yes. Did we make it up super fast because I had more energy and was still alive? Absolutely. We used to do events, banners, ads, flyers, newspaper, media buying, radio, billboards, we'd sponsor events, we did direct mail, we did all kinds of things. And in 15 minutes, I'm going to show you how I build a customer's catcher for one lucky restaurant owner. Not sure you noticed, but on the registration page, you had the opportunity to apply for that. And Matilda won, and so I'm going to share her customer catcher with you in just a few minutes. But first, I want to share with you the 3 secrets of customers catching. Secret number 1, how to ethically steal your competitors' customers, and they won't even know what hit them. Secret number 2, how to put your customer catching on autopilot with the push of a button. So simple, even my 2-year-old my granddaughter could do it. She's not my great-granddaughter. I'm not that old. And secret number 3, my number 1 secret competitive advantage, how to bulletproof your restaurant or bar business no matter how many new joints open up in your area. So let's dive right into secret number 1, customer catching. How to ethically steal your competitors' customers and they won't even know what hit them. In corporate America, or in the world of television, it's called spying on your competition. But in corporate America, it's just a part of business. It's just a part of knowing what's going on around you, and good business at that is understanding and knowing what else is out there. What other options do customers have? What other competitors are out there? What are they doing? What are they offering? And what do I have to offer that's new and unique and different that would cause people to want to come to my restaurant or come to my bar? Because the truth is, in my small town, there's over 100 restaurants and bars now, and most of them have opened up in the last year. So how do you compete against that? How do you stand out and get people wanting to come to you when there's so much competition? Well, it's really pretty simple. If you want to achieve success in anything, all you need to do is model what those that have already succeeded are doing. This I learned from Tony Robbins when I was probably 24, 25 years old. And it's really helped me out a lot in my life. It's helped me to understand what I need to look at and where I need to look to see what other people are doing. It's part of why my career has been in several different industries, because I learned early on that I can take something that another industry does as a standard practice and I can apply it to the industry I'm in now, and I can have incredible results and success. It's what allowed me to make massive quantum leap changes and improvements in the businesses that I was in and in the companies that I worked for, was because I brought with it knowledge from other industries. And most people, when they get into a job or an industry or a role or a business, they never look outside of that little narrow area and little tunnel vision of the world to see what other people are doing. And that's a really key secret into really expanding and growing your influence and your success. So modeling what other people are doing. Modeling what other people are doing is good market research. So I've got a simple process for stealing or attracting your competition's customers. Step 1, find your competition. Know who your competitors are. And I always pick 3. I brainstorm and I think, okay, who are the closest 3 competitors that I want to look at? You can do more. Sometimes I'm an overachiever, and for my own businesses, I'll do how many ever I want. I usually pick 20 or more. But if I'm doing it for someone else's business, we pick your top 3. And I coach people to pick your top 3 because you are busy. You don't have time to do a huge analysis. You can also have someone else do this for you. It's pretty easy to, and sometimes it's better to have an outside observer say, okay, here's who your top 3 competitors are. Then you look at them and you say, well, where are their customers coming from? Where are they getting their customers? And there's a lot of ways to find that out, and it's easy to do too. Then you put your business in front of them. You put your business in the same place that those customers are coming from. And there's tons of easy and creative ways to do that. You offer your ideal customers more of what they want and what they want the most. And most people either want to make money, save time, avoid pain, or increase pleasure. So the more of those things that you can incorporate into your offer for your ideal customers, the easier it is for them to come to you. Then you watch their customers flock to your place because they will be attracted to you and your business. Helena's experience. We've added 517 new and repeat customers to our restaurant since we launched our customers catcher. The goal is to add 1,000 customers, and at the rate we're going, it's looking like we will reach that before the end of the year. Helena Salvatore. So who does this work for? Well, it works for any type of restaurant, any type of eating establishment. It works for all types of bars and restaurants. We've worked with pretty much anything, everything on this list, and much, much more. And it actually works for all types of businesses. I've now put this customers catcher to work in all, I think, about 12 different industries. So who wants to know my favorite place to spy on the competition? It's a place called SEMrush, semrush.com. And since I'm trying to speed through this, I'm not going to go into detail about it. But if you go to semrush.com, you can get tons of information on your competition. We recently had a Panera Bread open up in my small town. And so I just grabbed Panera Bread, went and looked at theirs and grabbed a screenshot of it. So, fine dining customers. Here's just a quick shot of our customer catcher for fine dining restaurants. And we have a base template for different categories and different types of restaurants. And then it's 100% customizable to you, your restaurant, and what you want to achieve and do for your business. Fast casual customer catcher, sports bar customer catcher, your customer catcher. What's it going to look like? You just have to do this. Put this in place and boom, people will find you and start coming to your place on autopilot. So now you know how to ethically steal your competitors' competition and they won't even know what hit them. Now you might be thinking, well, how do they not even know what hit them? Let me ask you a question. How much time and energy do you really spend thinking about, looking at, and paying attention to the competition? I know as a small business owner and a restaurant and bar owner, I was so busy and have always been so busy doing my own thing and building my own business, I've really never had much time to spend paying attention to my competition. So the fact is, if some of their customers, and remember, we only want their best customers, not their best customers, but their customers that are best for us. We're only attracting them to our business. So they're not even going to know. They won't even notice because they're so busy doing their own thing. We're so busy as human beings doing our own thing, we seldom, if ever, notice or pay attention to what other people are doing. Unless, of course, our life sucks so much that we have to live vicariously through other people and are jealous of other people. But who wants to live that way? Not me. I'm busy running my businesses. So again, a quick recap of how to steal customers or attract your ideal customers from the competition. Find out who your competition is. Find out where their customers are coming from. You can use SEMrush to do that. Put your business in front of them, and your offer. Give them exactly what they want. Give your ideal customer what they want the most and watch them flock to your door. So now you know how to ethically steal the competition's customers and they won't even notice. Let's jump right into secret number 2, how to put your customer's catcher on autopilot with the push of a button. So simple, even my 2-year-old granddaughter could do it. And actually, I know she can because she was running a remote control car the other day, and that is way more complicated than pushing a button. So, why do I think that this is important? Why do I think that having a simple system to automate your customer attraction and customer handling is so important? Well, a few years ago, I had a sudden cardiac arrest. And yes, it was from all the stress in my life and all the things that were going on in my life that I thought were outside of my control and trying to do too much and running too many businesses. A whole bunch of things happened all at once, simultaneously, like a perfect storm, and knocked me over dead. And I have a picture in here somewhere, I believe, of that. Not of when I was actually dead, but a reenactment. And I'll show that later on. But one thing I learned and figured out when I woke up from the coma was that people that have an event like this, within 3 to 6 years, like 90-some% of them die. They don't be here anymore. And since I'm here talking to you, obviously I knew I had to figure something out and do something different. And so one of the things I did was I modeled people that were successfully handling stress and living the life they deserved and healthy with respect to heart health. And what I discovered is that they exercise. Now, keep in mind, I was a workaholic, like probably most of you are, working all the time, never taking care of myself, never eating right, absolutely positively never exercising. Yeah, I was running around a lot in my businesses, but I was never actually stopping and doing something for my body or for my health intentionally. And running through your life is very different than walking in the park. So after this event, I told my family and friends that I was going to exercise every day for a year, because I figured if healthy people exercise several times a week, if I exercised every day for a year, it would for sure make that a habit for me, and it would make sure that I wasn't going to die in 3 to 6 years of a cardiac related incident. So I told my family and friends that, and of course, it's kind of like going on a diet. You're doing okay for a while, but then all of a sudden people start sabotaging you, and they don't really do it on purpose. They just do it because, number one, they might be afraid for you. Number two, people get weird when you start doing something out of their comfort zone, because it makes them uncomfortable, because they have to face the fact that if you can do it, well, then they could probably do it too. But I'm sort of a rule breaker. I'm one of those people that asks for forgiveness, not for permission. And I make my own rules. So if you tell me I can't do something, that just encourages me more to say, watch me do it. I'm going to do it. So I went ahead and I exercised every day for a year. I actually exercised every day for about 7 years, because I believe in continuous improvement. And I don't want to die yet. I'm not done. I've got so much to do here. I don't have time to have super bad health challenges, which I just had one of those. And I don't have the time and energy to be dead. Doesn't work out for my plans. Not now anyway. Maybe when I'm 100. Haven't decided yet. But for right now, it's not working for me. So whenever anybody tells me I can't do something, of course, that means I'm going to figure it out. So everybody was telling me, you can't do this. You can't systematize. You can't attract customers on autopilot. You can't take all the things you hate doing out of your business and not have to do them anymore by automating and putting processes and systems in place that do that for you. And I, of course, said, well, the heck I can. Watch me. And that's what I did. So here's what we had used to do to set up one of these customer handling systems. We had to decide what we, to advertise and promote, to look for customers. We had to decide that we wanted to bring more customers into the business. Then we had to get ideas and hire somebody to actually help us pick a message. Sometimes we could come up with our own message, but a lot of times that third-party outsider came up with a much better, clearer message for our customers than we would have come up with on our own. We had to pick media, how we were going to share the message. We had to design the promotion. We had to design the ads. We had to run the ads. We had to pay for the ads. And we never really knew what our return on that investment was. And me, I'm all about return on investment. If I can't see the numbers and something improving, I don't want to spend my money or waste my money on that. Perhaps you can relate. How many of you have ever spent money on an ad and had no idea how it performed? Have you ever spent money on an ad and got crickets? Lots of crickets, like not a single person responded. I have done that, like more times than I want to admit. I want to say hundreds of times, but I don't want to be embarrassed. One of those, I want to look good, but I really have screwed this up so many times. But it was through that trial and error that I figured out what to do and what not to do. And that's why I know how to tell you what to do. And don't do any of these dumb, stupid mistake things that I did in my past, just to save you the heartache and the time and the energy and the money. And I discovered a new way, a better way to do all of this. And it involves a software program called ClickFunnels, which I just discovered a year ago, January, which was a life changer, game changer, world rocking changer for me and my businesses. But I use our Customers Catcher platform on top of ClickFunnels. It allows me to clone my funnels. So those share funnels I showed you, we can clone those and then customize them for you, for your customer handling system, your customer catching system. And then it allows me to add a whole bunch of cool things that allow me to collect my customers, create repeat customers, and wow them continually. And I can do it all automatically. I set it all up once, and I can tweak and change it whenever I want, but I don't have to. I can set it up, and I can leave it for a long period of time until it maybe stops working again, and the numbers show me if it's getting a fall off in new customers, and then I'll just go in and I'll add some new little tweaks or changes to it. But ClickFunnels is just a way of automating your sales process. So instead of having to do cold calls or run ads, and I still run ads, don't get me wrong, but I run ads to my opt-in page, my first page of my funnel, which is an online automated salesperson for my business 24/7. So for one lucky person, Matilda, I want to build and just quickly walk through how to build a customer catcher for her on this webinar. Let's see if I can get the technology to work for me. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. So I'm going to actually switch to the YouTube video. I pre-recorded this because my internet connection where I live in the country isn't strong enough to actually capture this. So I'm going to quickly play this YouTube video for you. I apologize, it's like 10 minutes long, but I'm going to play this and you can see how we did Matilda's customer catcher. And it's not done yet. Well, it is now, but it wasn't when I made this recording.
All right, here we go. Demo ClickFunnels and customer catchers. I am going to see how long it actually takes me to do this. Got a set of old headphones on, so I'm hoping that they work, and my microphone to try to eliminate the feedback and things that I get off of it otherwise. So here I am in my ClickFunnels account. You can see I've got lots of funnels in here, but what we're going to do is we're just going to pick one of my templates, and
I have a lot more now.
I'm going to show you how, with the push of a button, we can create a customer catcher for you. This template is called Fine Dining Customer. I just grabbed the first one that I came to. And when you do that, you then go to your Settings tab. And on your Settings tab, right below Settings, you'll see this Clone Funnel button. You push the Clone Funnel button, and as if by magic, that funnel is copied into your account. So all I have to do, if you're a customer catcher, is send you this clone funnel or a link to this clone funnel, and you can, just like I showed you, with the push of a button, in under 30 seconds, have this funnel as is in your account. And then you can go about customizing it for your particular business. Now, the business that won this week and entered her business was a lady named Matilda. She's got a cafe, and it took me a little longer than 15 minutes to create this for her, given her artwork and what she wanted for designs and details. But I've got it here, and I'm just going to walk you through some of the features because I can't possibly show you how to customize everything in 15 minutes. I actually thought I could, but with my computer connection and trying to record simultaneously, it just takes my computer too long to get from screen to screen. But we will go ahead and walk through her funnel. And all we did, well, her funnel or her sales process or her customer capture is exactly what this is. This is a system for her to capture customers with this first page, this squeeze page, and we're going to go ahead and click on that and show you. And then we've created for her a membership site, which is a way to get customers to come back to her place at whatever frequency she chose, and we decided to offer for her, and I'll go into the details of that. I'm going to show you the page. Let's go ahead and preview this so you can see what it looks like to a customer. It's pretty simple. She didn't have her logo handy, so we just used a little lady to fill in for her logo. But these are the colors and everything she picked. And what she's offering people as an incentive to join her members club is a free pie. They come into her place and she gives them a free pie. And all they have to do to get that is enter their name and email, and now they're on her list, and she can begin sending the automated communications that we're creating for her together, that we've already created and she's just customizing actually, to follow up and to encourage people to continue to come to her business. But it doesn't stop there. We also, for her, created an upsell, which is this membership site I was telling you about. It's a sales page. And what she decided to offer as an incentive for people to come to her business was once a month she will give whoever comes in that's a member, they can order whatever they want for breakfast, whatever they want for lunch, and whatever they want for dinner. And her menu prices are within a range that she's comfortable with doing that. Providing, one of each meal per month for her customers. And then she's also going to create a custom special dessert just for each customer every time that they join her for a meal, including these meals and other meals. So if somebody comes in for breakfast, they can get a muffin or whatever, or a caramel roll or something along with their breakfast. And if they come in for their lunch and dinner, they can get, whatever she's got on the menu. But she's also going to create some special desserts that are only available to you if you're a member of the Matilda MC members only special group, because they'll have a special menu. And I guarantee those will be absolutely mouth-watering desserts that are displayed in a prominent place in order to get people to sign up for this program. We've had a couple of discussions about that, and she's really excited about some of the things that she and her friend Sandra can create to make this really special for their customers. And that's $47 a month. So we've created this and set it up as a membership site to encourage people to come back to our restaurant pretty much weekly or pretty frequently. If you're paying $50 a month and an entree or a breakfast is about $10, you're going to want to come 4 or 5 times to her place. And this works for her and her business and what she's trying to achieve with it, and she's pretty excited about it. Now, in addition to this, we also created an upsell package for her and for her business. We're going to skip to that. This is set up as a one-time offer, but what it does, and we don't have her video available yet. We didn't have it available to plug in here, so we just plugged in some random catering guy that I found on YouTube just for demonstration purposes to show you. But what she's offering is a $3,000 value package, a catered event or holiday meal for $997. But the cool thing about this is she can charge up front for this meal and plan accordingly, and they get an awesome deal. They get 2/3 off, which is an incredible deal. But she gets cash flow and money. Let's go ahead and look at this in the preview mode. For having pre-sold this, you know, it's kind of the same principle of selling gift cards. You sell gift cards ahead of time, and you know, there's always some percentage of those people that don't redeem them, but you want them to, because you want them to come to your business and be satisfied and have a great experience with you and your organization. And so that's what she's offering here. She's like, I can definitely do that. We can think of some really cool things to do for people and some special event type things, and you know, for birthdays or holidays or whatever the person that buys this decides they want to do, she'll tailor make it and do a menu with them to make sure it's a memorable and special event. And so that's what she did for her upsell. And then the other pages in this funnel are just what make it work. The how to take money part, the order form, the thank you page where people can then redeem and find their programs. So I can just quickly show you that those are in here. And she just went for kind of a country, homesy, home cooking look and feel for her site. As you can see here, it's kind of the checkerboard, and then how to take money. This is automatically generated for you, so that works out really, really well and is easy. And then again, the rest of this is made up with the thank you page. I guess we missed the order page. We could go back to that. Here's the thank you page. Simple. Gives you a step-by-step what the customer needs to do. Again, her logo is not available yet. And then the order form, just so you know what it looks like. And there you have it. Everything's set up and everything's on autopilot. Now, in addition to this, we've got a series of emails and other communications that are built into this system for her. She's actually working on customizing those, but they would fall under this automations tab. So for example, when someone orders, a whole series of emails can be sent out and messages sent out to continue to communicate with the people that join her club. And we can do the same thing for you. We've got all of these. We've got several series of emails set up in advance. So all you have to do is plug in your information, and you can use these same emails with your details to continually communicate with your customers on autopilot. So there you have it. That's all there is to setting up Customers Catcher on top of your ClickFunnels account. If you have any questions, let me know.
All right, so I hope that showed you. Of course, I couldn't show you everything that this is capable of. There's so much more, but I just wanted to give you a quick preview of what's possible for you and for your business. Can you see how powerful this would be if you have an automated system like this for your business? Are you getting some ideas of how this could simplify your life, simplify all of the things that you might not even know are going on in your business, or maybe they're not going on for your bar or restaurant. Maybe you're like the vast majority of restaurant and bar owners and you've got nothing going on. You have no website. You're just counting on a couple of sites online to do the publicity and the sharing of information for you. I call that hope marketing. I want to help you not do hope marketing. I want to help you to do strategic marketing, but I also don't want you handing that off to someone so it's like a black box and a black hole that you're just putting your money into and you're not sure you're getting anything back out of that. That's what this is all about. So Jake Taylor, we're adding about 10 people per day to our system. It is making the slow nights fun and kicking our cash flow in the ass. We're profitable for the first time every night of the week. We used to have to count on the weekends to cover the weekdays. So I don't know about you, but most of the businesses that I've ever run, not just in the bar and restaurant industry, but we've got a couple of nights of the week that just really stink and don't cash flow. I mean, sometimes it was like, do we even need to have employees here? Do we even need to be open? We used to really consider whether we should shut down on Mondays and Tuesdays just to save the money of the cash flow. But this was what Jake was facing, and he discovered that using this system makes it so that's not necessary. Every night of the week's profitable, not just the weekends. So you can do this, or you can have somebody do it for you for your business. If you looked at that and you're like, oh my God, that's one more thing to put on my plate. I can't do this. It's overwhelming. It looks too hard. Even though it's super simple and you say it's super simple, it's too hard for me. Well, guess what? You don't have to do it. We can get somebody else to do it for you. You can get somebody else to do it for you. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Lots of people that have done this with us the business owner isn't the person that does it himself or herself. Now, you have to be involved because you have to get the direction of what you actually want in the system, but you don't have to be the one that actually changes the pictures and changes the type and the text in it. So anybody else can do that for you. You can get a temp to do that for you. So now you know how to put your customer catcher on autopilot with the push of a button. So simple, even my 2-year-old granddaughter can do it. And actually, when you join or when you get this, we just send you a link in an email. You click on the email link and it automatically goes into your account. That's pretty easy. Clicking on a link. All of us can click on a link. We all know how to do email. We all are computer and maybe not so computer techie savvy, because I know I sure am not, but I can click on a link and go to somewhere I want to go and find out what I want to learn. And I just wanted to share one more picture of my beautiful granddaughter because I am so proud of her. And now you know how you can do it too. Let's jump right into secret number 3, how to bulletproof your restaurant or bar business no matter how many new joints open up in your area. I want to share a quick story with you about a tale of 2 bars or a tale of 2 restaurants in my particular small town. Bar 1 I've been associated with for a really long time, and Bar 2 moved into town about a couple of years ago now. It's actually been quite a while. But bar number 1 was struggling and was freaking out because bar number 2 was getting a lot of bar number 1's customers. Bar number 1 was starting to die out and lose business, and he was really freaked out about it. And bar number 2 was smiling all the way to the bank because everybody was going there. And so I worked with the owner and we did some really fun things to investigate, number 1, what was going on. Why were the people not coming to his place anymore, and why were they going to bar number 2? Now, there's always some kind of this newness factor where people will go check out a new place. My friends and I, there's a whole group of us that we go out once a month and we always go to the new places. We always check out the new places, and then we decide if we're ever going to go back there again or not. So we needed to find out what was bar number 2 doing that was not only getting people to come in because of the newness factor, but actually getting them to keep coming back. What were they doing better to meet the needs of their ideal customer, or their customers that used to be bar number 1's customers, than bar number 1 was doing? And bar number 1 learned a lot. We had to step up his game in several areas that took some, emotional decisions making on his part to understand that, number 1, he needed to make some changes, but number 2, he really didn't want back all of the customers that he'd lost, because some of the customers he'd lost were not his best ideal customers. They were the customers that broke the toilet or the urinal off every other weekend. They were the ones that threw up in the place, got into bar fights. He didn't want those customers back. He wanted just his happy, positive, money spending, drinking, eating, happy-go-lucky customers that spent the most money at his place. And so We did some fun things. We did some line standing and interviewing, and in a subtle way. And we posted some people to stand in line and to go to the places and ask questions, because we're both pretty well known in town and couldn't do it. But we actually hired and got other people to do it for us and do the competitive analysis legwork of what needed to be done in order to get his ideal customers back. We put the customer catcher in place in his business. We made a cool offer. We started a VIP program for him. So he now had people paying monthly to come to his business. And all in all, it has supersized his business. He's, I think, up 3 times his annual revenue that he was 2 years ago. And that is with not only bar number 2 opening up, but 7 other new places opened up in the next 9 months. And I would have to pay attention now. It's been about a year, but I think we've probably had 20 more places that have opened in our small town since I wrote this first run through and did this first analysis. And I guarantee that he would be out of business by now if he hadn't worked with me and hadn't figured this out for his business. He would have quit business like so many other small businesses, like so many other bars and restaurants, because he just didn't know what to do. He saw what was happening and he was freaking out. And instead of freaking out, he needed to stop and say, okay, well, yeah, this is happening, but what am I going to do about it? What can I do about it? And that's where we came in and helped him to see what he could do and what else was possible. And it became, almost magical for him. And he is so grateful and so glad that he didn't quit business. And even with all these new places, like 27 new places opening up in our really small town, he is still continuing to grow and grow and grow and make more revenue and more profits than he was before, like to a multitude of 3 times. So how cool is that? Now, one of the things that you want to look at and know about, and one of the things that we did as part of our analysis for him, was we looked at, well, where are they getting their customers? Where's their traffic coming from? And there's a couple of cool websites, and I'm not going to click through to them, but I want you to write down the addresses, and you can go to these websites and you can get all kinds of competitive information on other businesses. Now, no matter how small your business is or how small a town you live in, you can find competitors that you can get this information on. I just plugged in 5 bars in my area, and none of them are really big deals, but you can see the marketing mix, all of the details of the competitive information that's available. You can even see samples of the advertising that they're running that's working successfully for them, and you can see how well it's working. This is just a page from Panera, but you can get so much information out there to tell you exactly what you need to do and what you need to offer to attract the ideal customers to you. What even your ad should look like if you decide that you want to run an ad to attract customers, because you can see what your competition's doing that's working for them, and you can model it, not copy it. You want to have a better offer for them, but you can model the colors and the style that's working for them, because it's already proven and it's already working. So by doing this competitive analysis, like we learned in the first step in the first secret, and spying on our competition, and really it's just paying attention to what's going on around us, things. You know where they're advertising, you know what they're saying, you know who they're going after, who they're targeting, so that you can come up with a better offer for your ideal customer. Now, this is just 5 restaurants that are in my local area that I pulled up because they have websites. Not necessarily great websites. I would say one of them has a really great website and a great way of doing things. Maybe 2. The other one it is just barely a web presence. Actually, 2 are barely a web presence. And what we do is we take these old traditional websites and we put in a sales process, a sales funnel it's called, where it acts as your 24/7 salesperson out promoting and selling your business to people and attracting people into you, versus these are just like a signpost on the side of the road in front of your restaurant that says the name of your restaurant, and maybe a couple of deals, like if you hang the menu in the window. But the vast majority of bars and restaurants, that's just 5 from my area. Of the 100 and some restaurants and bars, most of them aren't doing anything. Most of them don't have a web presence at all. But a couple of key things to know is that the best performing restaurants are doing something. They're modeling the best in the food industry and the restaurant industry, but they're also modeling other industries and doing what works in them and bringing it into use with their restaurant and their bar. You need to get on that bandwagon and be doing the same thing and better if you want to stay competitive in this highly competitive world. There's more than 1 billion restaurants in the United States alone. 1 billion. And like 90% of them go out of business within 5 years. So there's so much turnover, and there just doesn't have to be. Also, the best restaurants in the industry are having some form of engagement with their customers on autopilot, like a membership program or an automated email response or messenger bots, messaging them on Facebook. And we can automate all of that for you within this system. Super easy. But again, most of your competition isn't doing anything. So if I model what works, I get my best paying customers coming to my place on autopilot, visiting more often, spending more money, and bringing their friends. I get to watch my restaurant and bar, and you get to watch your restaurant and bar thrive. No more struggling. No more worrying about where is the business coming from. We're getting about 2 to 4 new customers a day on our automated online system, Customer Catcher. I love repeat happy customers who like being associated with our little wine bar. I just do not think about competition anymore. We love our customers now. Wine, don't whine. That's our motto. Wanda Washington. And Wanda actually is one of the people that met with and worked with us before she started her restaurant. And she has been profitable since day one because she set everything up right. She had customers before she opened her doors. She had people paying her before she opened her doors. She had people in her VIP membership program before she opened her door. How many people would like that? Boom, I wish I had known about that when I started my businesses. So you're probably thinking, competition used to be scary. But it's not scary anymore because the only competition is you. We are often our own worst enemy and our own biggest competitor because we have blocks and ideas that we think won't work for us. We need to adopt the abundance mentality versus the scarcity mentality. There is plenty of business to go around. If 27 restaurants can open up in my small town of like 10,000 people in a year, oh my gosh, there's obviously plenty of people out there eating and plenty to go around. And my other thing I like to remind you to keep in mind on this is people are going to talk about your business no matter what. There's going to be competition. So would you rather have them talk about you from a good standpoint as using you as an example, or would you rather have them talk about you as if you're a warning of what not to do? I always want people talking about me because I'm an example. So that's secret number 3, how to bulletproof your restaurant or bar business no matter how many new joints open up in your area. Now you know how to do it. You know how to make it so that the ideal people come to your restaurant over and over again. And so it doesn't matter. It becomes irrelevant how many new places open up in your area. Again, a quick recap on the 3 secrets that we've talked about today. Secret number 1, how to ethically steal your competitors' competition and they won't even know what hit them. Secret number 2, how to put your customer catching on autopilot with a push of a button. So simple, even my 2-year-old granddaughter can do it. And secret number 3, how to bulletproof your restaurant and bar no matter how many new joints open up in your area. So if I model what works, if I give people what they want, they'll beat a path to my door and the competition becomes irrelevant. So let me ask you a question. When I get on webinars or web classes like this or presentations like this or attend a thing like this, I feel like I've been drinking out of a fire hose. I get so overwhelmed with all the things I've heard and I'm like, okay, yeah, that looks really great, Sharon, but how in the heck do I do it in my business with all the other things I've got going on? I am already working 17 hours a day. I need to sleep a couple hours a day. The family wants to see me. They still love and care about me. How in the heck am I supposed to do this? So if I have a way to show you how to do this and automate it all for your system, would that be something you'd want to see? Go ahead and let me know in the comments and I will go ahead and share it if you want to see it. Otherwise, I'm set, guys. I got this working in my businesses, so I could go home now and quit talking and drink my coffee. What do you think? Kelly says, show us already. Tim says, we're waiting. Okay, there's things rolling in. I'll go ahead and show you. I also feel like my head's going to explode a lot of the time, but that might be my own creation. So we have created something we call Customer's Catcher. So what are you going to get with Customer's Catcher? Well, it's a 6-week Customer Catcher masterclass. A masterclass that includes everything you need to analyze, set up, create an automatic customer handling system for you. Not just catching the customers and attracting them to you, but communicating with them on an ongoing basis. Having everything you need to build a relationship with them. Now, when they come into your restaurant, you still need to have human interaction with them, and we will show you how to do that best too so that you can continue to wow your customers. But we're going to automate as much of that process as we can, customize and automate it just for your business. And I just call it Customer Catcher, Competition Eraser, Customer Captivator, Customers Experience, Customer Communications, and then Customers for Life. Because we all really want, the holy grail is that we create customers for life. We don't want somebody coming into our restaurant once and then never coming back again. Too much work, too expensive, too frustrating. They're the ones that leave the bad reviews on Yelp or Foursquare or whatever the names of the places are nowadays. With Customer Catcher, we got 23 new customers our first week. Now that we have the Customer Catcher perfected, we're on track to get 100 new customers this month. I never thought it would work for my little cafe. Alicia Keller. So who does this work for? Quick reminder. Any type business or restaurant, any place that people eat or drink or consume food, and actually any type of bar or restaurant, all types of businesses this works for. I've installed it in at least a dozen different industries and businesses now, and it's working really, really well in all of them. I use Customer Catcher to buy my resort restaurant. I got it under contract, then used what I learned to double our average nightly sales in only 8 months. The increased revenue covers the monthly payments. Jackie McDonald. George Engel. I never had an actual business before Engel's. I followed Sharon's instructions, set up a Customer Catcher, and my first try sold 17 people on my front end offer, which was a free plan, and 4 people bought the $247 package. George Engel. And George is one of those people who actually had his fiance set it up for him because he's not very technically savvy. He makes me look technically smart, and I'm really bad. I was not sure Customer Catcher would work for my business or me, but since it was guaranteed, I had nothing to lose. I set it up and forgot about it. 2 weeks later, I checked it out and was flabbergasted. I wondered where all the new people were coming from. Kim White. Kim actually has a liquor business, and we put it in place for her liquor store, and she was just thinking that it was like a holiday or something because she had so many people coming in, and it wasn't a holiday. She wondered where all the people were coming from. Now, if you're one of those people and you own a bar or restaurant and you haven't done anything, you're not doing anything, you don't have a website, you don't have a web presence, you haven't done anything to try to attract customers to your business, I've decided to make the Blue Plate Special this, and it is our customer handling, customer catching system. I'm going to give it to you free so that you've got it for your business, so that you don't have any excuses as to why you haven't started yet. And I'm going to teach you how to do it right, how to start it fast, and how to get it up and running so that you don't have to worry it. So I'm going to share with you the free system so that you can customize it for you and get going. So what are you going to get? The 6-week Customer Catcher Masterclass. And we're going to create this together so that I make sure you get everything you need, all your questions answered. It's a total value of $4,997. But what else do you get? Well, your very own Customer Catcher Swiss Army knife. Our Customer Catcher members get a 14-day trial to ClickFunnels Enterprise account if you don't have it yet, and everything else on a silver platter. All you need to put your customer handling on autopilot, the attraction, communications, experiences, rewards, wow, customers for life, all on autopilot. You'll be able to attract new customers to your restaurant, increase how often customers return, increase how much they spend, influence how much they spend, see customers bringing their friends to your establishment, watch your sales and your profits soar and grow, and much, much more. You'll also be able to get rid of, with Customer Catchers and with ClickFunnels, all of these things. And I'm not going to read them all off. You can look at them because there's a ton of things that you get rid of. But mostly, you get rid of all of your doubts, worries, and fears about getting customers and handling customers on autopilot for your bar or restaurant. All of those worries and fears go away. You get as much as you can possibly get on, and you set it up on automation and autopilot so that you don't have to worry about it. So you can focus on the things that really need your undivided attention. Customer Catchers solved for me all of my doubts about attracting new customers, my worries about customer handling and what to do with customers and how to communicate with them and build my relationship with them, fears about the competition, troubles with profit, cash flow, and sales. It actually smoothed and increased my sales and profitability every night of the week in all of my businesses, concerns dealing with customers for life. And how do you get customers for life? I mean, it's a big buzzword thing, but how the heck do you really do that? Challenges over info, promo, ads, events. It helps me. The system includes some really cool bonuses that help you with all those things. Now I know what to do, when to do it, and how to do it. And all the technical and practical aspects of customer interaction and customer handling are dealt with and handled for me within this course and system. So all by myself, I can now create an entire year-long customer handling system that runs on autopilot in a couple of hours for the price of a burger out a day. How awesome is that? Can you see yourself doing that? So you're probably asking or thinking, well, what happens after a year? Well, nothing happens after a year. If you like your system and it's working and functioning, you can just keep running it. You don't have to do anything. But I like to plan out a whole year as a customer catcher so that you never have to worry about it this whole first year again. You just set it and forget it. You might be thinking, I'm not technical. Well, I cannot even get my internet to work so that I can run my webinar software and my other software and do it live at the same time. Obviously not technical. You might be thinking, I don't have time. Most of us don't have time. But this is one of those awesome things that you set it up and then it gives you back so much of your time, because I guarantee you're already spending time, money, and energy on these things. You're already doing it because you have to do it or your business doesn't work. So if we can condense the time that you have to take doing this by automating it, boom, win-win. Or you might say, I don't want to. Well, guess what? You don't have to do it yourself. You can get somebody to help you do it. So again, what are you going to get? The 6-week Customer Catcher Masterclass, a $4,997 value. Customer Catcher software and the ClickFunnels 14-day trial, a $3,064 value. And I forgot the total value, but that doesn't matter. What else do you need? We need to tell you what else you need to make this work for you. Like, how about communications, promos, ads, events, pre-written for you and customized for your business? You can steal all of our entire successful swipe file. Again, I was mentioned that I have the pictures of where I had my sudden cardiac arrest. This was actually in our bar and restaurant where I did drop dead and have a sudden cardiac arrest. But we call this bonus Customer Catcher Killer Communications because it helps you with all of the communications that you need for your business. My traditional media cheat sheets, my direct marketing lumpy mail secrets for attracting my dream customers, my swipe file from our successful campaigns, because who wants the failed ones? But I'll talk about those, but I will encourage you to not try some of the stupid things that I tried over the years. My done for you customizable email templates, text messages, messenger bot messages, my successful ads and campaigns for solo ads, buying tips and tricks if you want to go out and buy media to promote an event or something special for your place, my Facebook shortcuts and lessons learned, and I've got some big lessons learned there, my SEO, social media strategies, and much, much more. Everything you need to communicate with your customers or attract your ideal customers. Customer Catcher Communication gives you consistent customer engagement and a steady stream of customers beating a path to your door on autopilot. So what are you going to get? Again, the 6-week Customer Catcher Masterclass, a $4,997 value. Customer Catcher software, a $3,564 value. That's a total value of $10,558, along with the Customer Catcher Killer Communications, which is a $1,997 value. I love teaching people how to cook, but I hate selling. I spent a few minutes editing the email and text message series for attracting new customers and filled all my classes for this fall. I was struggling to keep the doors open before coming across Customer Catcher. I'm so glad I did. Now I'm thinking about adding another instructor, Tina Tully. Tina's actually added 3 instructors now and is just killing it in her space. What more will help you? What else do you need to know that this is right for you in your restaurant and bar? Well, how about a ninja? Customer Catcher Ninja is all about the customer experience, engagement, captivating them, and keeping them coming back for more. Customer Catcher Ninja, well, you might be thinking, isn't it wrong to spy on the competition? They might find out and retaliate. Whatever, they're not even going to know because you aren't going to spy in a negative way. You're just going to do market research to find out what to do better in your place. But again, the Ninja has a whole lot of great, powerful things that you can use. And with that power comes great responsibility. Again, I want to ask you to do what's right for your business, to supersize and grow your place, but don't do anything to really harm your competition. The Ninja knows shortcuts and hacks to winning. Some Ninja wisdom includes customers vote with their wallets. It doesn't matter what people say. What matters is what they do and where they spend their money. Whoever gives customers what they want the most wins. Hands down, that's the way the world works. That's the way business works. That's the way bars and restaurants work. Our customer cash, or our store or pile of customers, equals business cash, profits and profitability and cash flow to our businesses. A repeat customer is so much cheaper than a new one. It's between 7 and 10 times cheaper to get your same customers coming back for more than it is to acquire a new customer. There's tons of statistics about that. The customer's not always right. I told you I had to fire my best customer in my Italian food business. They're not always right. And so that's why it's so important to attract your ideal customer. You don't want to attract headache, problem customers. You only want to attract awesome people that are like you and love your place and want to be part of your family. All customers are not created equal. Some customers are way better than other customers. A customer that comes to your place once or twice a month and brings their friends is much more valuable than the customer that comes to your place once a year or once every 6 months. I think we all know that. Your business is entirely up to you. So what are you going to get? 6-week Customer Catcher Masterclass, a $4,997 value. The Customer Catcher software and free 14-day trial if you don't have it already. That's a $3,564 value. Customer Catcher Killer Communications, that's a $1,997 value. And the Customer Catcher Ninja, that's a $1,997 value. It's a total value of $12,555. The Ninja helped me put 107 people into our Customer Catcher in 45 days. We focused on the customer's experience and made sure it was amazing. Making sure people have a great time at our place keeps them coming back for more. That and the world's best desserts. Kevin Johnson. So what's the last thing you need? What more do you need to just make this a no-brainer for you and your business? How about a competition eraser? Customer Catcher's competition eraser. Who else wants to make their competition disappear? Now, figuratively, not literally, of course, because I said we're not going to hurt our competition. We're just going to make our place so awesome everybody comes to it. So the Customer Catcher's eraser shows you that if you do exactly what we do, you'll leave your competition eating your dust. They will be of no concern for you in the future. You go after your best customers only. You give them exactly what they want. You value, acknowledge, and pay attention to them, giving them what they want, and the game is over. There is no competition because you are their hands down favorite. They're a member of your organization's family. Well, you might be thinking, won't my competition get mad? And like I said before, are they really going to notice? They're probably not going to notice unless they're like bar one with bar two, where you're taking so many of their customers, and if their ideal customers are your ideal customers and you offer them more of what they want, then you probably will take some of them, and they might notice. If you're like in that situation and there's so many people migrating, yep, they might notice, but then they have to step up their game and do something. One thing that was really interesting in my small town, when all those places opened up in like a short period of time, every other restaurant and bar in the community had to step up their game. They all had to get better. And that's better for everybody. It's just better for you. It's better for your business. And it's especially better for your customers. And that's why we're in business, is to serve people, serve our customers, and give them what they need. You know, the other concern I hear and people mention to me sometimes is, well, are people going to talk about me and my business? If I'm doing these things and I'm getting all this business and customers, people are going to notice and they're going to talk about me. Again, they're going to talk about you whether it's about whether you're a good person and a great business person and an example that they want to learn from, or whether you're a warning and you're like a jerk. So no matter what, people are going to talk about you. It doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is what you think and what you do. My friends and family are going to think I'm doing something illegal. Well, I don't know about your friends and family, but if they ought to know you well enough to know that you're not doing anything illegal and you're just doing a better job serving your market and your customers than the competition. And you might be thinking, well, what if? What if this? What if that? What if something changes in the economy? What if something changes in the ordinances or the laws or the food safety guidelines or the availability of raw materials? You know what? Life changes all the time. But if you have a loyal group of customers that are coming to your business all the time, they will change with you. They will roll with you. Whatever comes your way, they'll be there loyal with you, part of the family, joining you in the change. So the what ifs don't even matter anymore. They become just as irrelevant as the competition. The competition eraser was just what I needed for my restaurant clients. The Customer's Catcher has allowed us to relocate and reallocate people to higher return activities. Now one person manages customers for all our sites, 22 and growing. We used to have one person per location. Brian is actually a restaurant consultant, and he put this to work in his restaurant consultancy firm. So what are you going to get? The 6-week Customer Catcher Masterclass, a $4,997 value. The Customer Catcher Software, a $3,564 value. Customer Catcher Killer Communications, a $1,997 value. Customer Catcher Ninja, a $1,997 value. And the Customer Catcher Competition Eraser, $1,997. That's a total value of $14,552. Now, let me ask you a question. If all this did was finally get you just 10 new customers a day, and I did the math because I'm an engineer and a math nerd, that's a minimum, no matter how small your restaurant, of $39,000 of extra income that you didn't have before. Would it be worth it? If all this did was help you to share your place with more people, the reason you started your business in the first place, the reason that you exist to serve other people, would it be worth it? If all this did was give you the ability to cancel all the monthly tools and junk that you're doing, assuming you're doing something already, would it be worth it? And if all this did was let you get some of the things off your plate so you can actually enjoy the reason or reasons that you started your business in the first place, would it be worth it? To me, this was the number one value add, was the time and the energy that it added back to my life, because I didn't have to be doing all these things by myself or hiring somebody else and then overseeing all these things for my business. So I had two choices when I was creating this. I could follow the first option. I could go really, really cheap as possible and try to just sell it to as many people as possible. But there really wasn't much incentive in that option for me to stack on the value. So the second option was, which requires a little bit higher investment on your part, but I, in exchange, can devote more resources to guaranteeing your success. So what's getting customers to come to you on autopilot worth to you? There's only 3 ways to make more money. Jay Abraham taught me this decades ago. Get new customers, sell more to existing customers, or increase the amount that customers spend. How much would you pay to get this happening for your place automatically? Because that's exactly what this system does. This one cost me $429,450, but it made me $797,981 in one day. This was where I had my sudden cardiac arrest, and it's made me millions and millions of dollars up to that day and since that day. So you can see why people are paying me and us $25K plus 10% of the profits, up to $250,000 to set the Customer Catcher up for them. We've set this up for a dozen restaurants now on that model, and I just decided more people needed to know about this. We needed to make it affordable for everyone. So you can see why it's a good deal at $5,000. And right now, although it's on hold and not available to the general public, it's usually $2,997, and that price will be going up very, very soon. But because you're here listening to this and I want you to go through this, the tweaking of the system, we're trying to really streamline and make this system the best it can possibly be before we automate it, of course. And you're here, I want to offer you an awesome deal. So you can get started now for just $997 today. Get started now by going to www.customerscatcher.com/go. That's www.customerscatcher.com/go. So again, a quick recap. What are you going to get? The 6-week Customer Catcher Masterclass, a $4,997 value. The Customer Catcher software, everything you need to customize and build your own program, a $3,564 value. Customer Catcher Killer Communications, a $1,997 value. Customer Catcher Ninja, a $1,997 value. Customer Catcher Competition Eraser, a $1,997 value. It's a total value of $14,552 for just $997 today. And in addition to all this, we're going to give you lifetime access to our private Customer Catcher Facebook group. You get it free with your investment today. So now you have two choices. You can do this now, or you can do nothing. Your two choices, your first option is to do nothing and not take this little leap of faith, which is 100% risk-free. Or your second option is to pony up this small investment today compared to all the value that you're going to get in return, and just give it a shot. If I can't make money for you, then I don't deserve yours and I don't want yours. That's why we have a 30-day money-back guarantee. You can sign up today, and if you don't like it for any reason whatsoever, I don't care if it's 29 days, 23 hours, and 59 minutes from right now, or from when you sign up. Just let me know and we'll give you your money back. Again, you can get it now for just $997 at customerscatcher.com/go. So the real question is it worth gambling a few minutes of your time to check this out? Which, if it does even half of what I've claimed today, on this training, which it does way, way more, will pay for itself as soon as you get your first customers coming to your place on autopilot. So again, what are you going to get? The 6-week Customer Catcher Masterclass, a $4,997 value. Customer Catcher software and the ClickFunnels free trial, a $3,564 value. Customer Catcher Killer Communications, a $1,997 value. Customer Catcher Ninja, which is really my favorite, a $1,997 value. And the Customer Catcher Competition Eraser, a $1,997 value. It's a total value of $14,552. And for the first 17 people only, we are going to do a live weekly Q&A call. So you can get your specific questions answered on these one-time only live calls. And they'll be one-time only because I've learned by working with other people that we all have similar questions and similar concerns. And 17 people is about as much as I can handle on a live call or want to handle. It gets really confusing if there's too many people and everybody doesn't get a turn. So that's why I cut and capped it off at 17. But we'll be recording these calls. They'll be available in the members area. If for some reason the time that we set up together doesn't work for everybody or you on a particular week, then fear not. You can send your question in ahead of time and the calls will be recorded for everybody to take advantage of, even if you're not one of the first 17. So if you already have a successful restaurant or a bar business, but you're looking for more customers, if you're struggling with your profitability or volume of customers on any given night or anything, you really need this. If you don't have a restaurant or a bar yet, but you know that there's one or more in your future, then you really need this too, because you want to start off on the right foot. And frankly, if you have any type of business or want to have one, then this is for you, because this will revolutionize and change your life as a business owner. I've shown you some powerful things today. I've shown you that the only way to exponentially grow your restaurant and bar business or any type of business from a sales profitability standpoint, and the only way to do that is with customers, because customers are the ones that bring the money, is through handling customers on autopilot. And the only way to automate this is through your customer, and the only way to automate your customer handling is through Customer Catcher. This system is by far the best, most advanced way of doing this for you than anything else out there. I have a super secret special for the first people only. We are launching, and I'm on a team that's launching a mobile app called Hop. And I am going to give you a platinum business account for free for 6 months to the first 30 people that join me today. That's at least a $6,000 value. You can get started today by going to www.customerscatcher.com/go. We're leaving alpha testing and beta testing on the app, and you will, as one of these first 30 people, get to be beta testers and participate in this. Plus, you get to give us feedback and information on what you as a business owner want to see in the app. That's like a super cool bonus, you guys. So again, you can get started now for just $997 today. Go ahead and get started at www.customerscatcher, and you don't have to have capital letters, .com/go. That's customerscatcher.com/go. I'm going to stay on the line for a few minutes and answer any questions you might have or concerns you might have. Keep in mind, we've got the guarantee. If you want to get the fast action bonuses and I don't get to your question quickly and you're afraid you might miss out on that, go ahead and order right now, and know that you can always ask for your money back if for some reason it doesn't work for you or it doesn't seem like it's going to be a fit for your business. I can't think of a business that it wouldn't be a fit for, but go ahead and ask away and hop on over to www.customerscatcher.com/go. So go ahead and type in some of your questions on the comment section and I will answer whatever I can quickly. And actually, I'll stay on the line and answer your questions because that's what I'm here for. I'm seeing a couple questions about a payment plan and why don't I have a payment plan? And I'm going to share my thoughts on that. My ex-husband and I have always been involved in coaching and different high-ticket coaching programs. I'm talking $25,000 a year, $50,000 a year, $100,000 a year, $6,000 a month. And what we found is that the people that were in those coaching programs with us that paid monthly almost never did anything. Now, people that were like us and paid annually, some of them didn't do anything either, which is mind-blowing to me. But we discovered and we saw a direct correlation between the people that paid in advance and the people that paid monthly. The people that paid in advance paid attention. It's kind of like if you're sitting in a classroom. I don't know if you ever noticed this, but I learned this when I went to college. I didn't need to know it when I was in high school because high school came pretty easy for me. But when I went to college, I had culture shock. And I realized I had to do this thing called studying and paying attention and giving the professors what they wanted if I wanted to get my A or my grade that I wanted to get. And I discovered that you needed to sit in the front row or the front 2 rows of every class if you were going to pay attention. It's the same thing here. People that pay attention. That might seem like a harsh reality, but I suspect that you've seen that in your business as well if you've been in business any amount of time. If you give something free to people or let them pay just a little bit, it makes it easier for them to make excuses to put off taking action and doing it and implementing. So I don't want you to have any excuses for not doing it and not implementing immediately, because the sooner you get this going, the faster you're supersizing and growing your business and taking a whole bunch of stuff off your plate that you don't want to be doing. Also, there is a way to get it financed. You can put it on MasterCard or Visa. That's one of my favorite ways to tell people. And it's a business expense, people. This is a total business write-off for you and your business. And PayPal offers for people in the United States something called PayPal credit. You may or may not know about this, but for purchases over $99, if you get approved by PayPal credit, you can have no interest and no payments for 6 months. So you can get this today for nothing, no money down. You can put it to work in your business for a full 6 months before you have to pay for it. How awesome is that? So that kind of gets over my personal objection of not wanting to offer payment plans. By really, it could be a payment plan for you, or you can just postpone paying for it for 6 months till you've made, quadruple times your money back, and it's just a no-brainer. Well, thanks for joining us today. Again, customercatcher.com/go. Go ahead and don't delay. Start your Customer Catcher today. That's at www.customerscatcher.com/go. Thanks for joining me today. If you have more questions, go ahead. You can send them to me at Customer Catcher Support or at customerscatcher@gmail.com, and I will answer any questions that you have. Let us know if we can do anything for you. Thanks for joining us today. I'm so excited to see you grow and supersize your business and attract all the customers that you need on autopilot. Thanks. Have an awesome day. Bye.